Guy, good to have you.
It's great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Delighted. You and Mary Catherine Ham wrote a book called End of Discussion that was all about the whole free speech debates that we're having around this country. There's one happening right now on college campuses that involves 2016. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so someone down in Georgia at Emory wrote in chalk on the ground around campus, just Trump 2016, make America great again, that sort of thing. And students down there completely flipped out. They equated seeing Donald Trump's name to essentially almost a hate crime, to violence, which is sort of crazy. And now this phenomenon has spread across the country, I think in sort of a good subversive way. Other students at other campuses decided we're going to take chalk, we're going to do the same thing at our school because we should be able to live in an environment as young adults where we can see words that, like someone's name. But no, this is a triggering event, is what they call it. At Emory, they had emergency meetings with students saying that they felt very deeply shaken emotionally. And I think what is sad, and one of our chapters in End of Discussion is about campus life, because unfortunately, the squelching of speech and the punishing of dissent has crept far beyond the walls of academia, but it seems to be a particularly hot cauldron in the academy. And within that context, we are just very concerned because we see young Americans who are actively and enthusiastically participating in their own infantilization, right? They used to say, we're all about, treat us like adults. We're all for free speech and, big ideas and thinking. And all those Americans out there, those right-wingers, they're a bunch of Puritans. Well, this is the new Puritanism, and it is among the campus left. That is ground zero, and it's fascinating on one level.
And it's the opposite of what you saw in the 60s and
That's
these
exactly
other kind of campus protests where people were clamoring for free speech, clamoring for the right to protest. Now they've got it, but their protest is all about shut it down.
Right. They want to be shielded from ideas, thoughts, words, anything, images that might make them feel slightly uncomfortable or trouble their worldview or prod them in some way that they don't like. And I mean, it's silly.
What's been your responsibility? I mean, you all did a book tour. I know I'm sure went to some campuses and colleges and so forth. What was the reaction from the student bodies? What did you kind of take away from those events?
Well, we had very fortunate circumstances where we had great hosts, and I think a lot of center-right students or people who were at least open to the idea of protecting the ability to have robust debate and exchange ideas. That was the crowd that tended to show up. We had some people who definitely disagreed. We were just at Princeton, had some Bernie people there, but we were sort of cheerful and nice about it. We had a good conversation and chatted afterwards, and it was fine. We have friends and colleagues in the media who go to campuses and there's nearly riots and people getting screamed at and shouted down. Ben Shapiro, for example, this has happened to him, and he's a little bit more provocative in the way that he goes about this, but still, conservatives should be able to speak on campuses without touching off borderline violent incidents from people who don't want that speech to be heard by anyone.
Well, this has got to be the end of our discussion because we're keeping it short. I know you're catching a train, but the book is End of Discussion. I hope people buy it and get it.
Thank you, so do we. Thank you so much.